YouTube. I am Pinstar, and this is Rose-Colored Goggles SimCity 4 Episode 2. So, we have laid down our foundations, and our city is just starting to grow. But before we go too much further, I do want to give some proper shout-outs to my name in-game patrons. And I'm going to be doing that in a couple of different ways. One is with the My Sims feature, which allows you to essentially move in a sim and they will add to the news reports, and you can see their icons moving around as the game more intensely simulates their goings-ons rather than just being another number in there. So we're going to do 2 of our name in-game patrons as My Sims. I find that going with too many more clutters up the feed, but our other name in-game patrons will be honored in other ways as we go along. If you want to become a name and game patron, take a look at the Patreon link down below. But first things first, we're gonna go, we'll go with one person here, Senate Uja. And Senate, we're gonna move you into, we'll start them humble, they can move. So you are in the White Cottage. So that's Senate right there. And now we are going to move in one more. We'll do Cameron Romano. He's going to be our Northsider. Looks like it's going to be so yeah, one thing it does tell us is we get little news bits. So where are you missing? Cameron is working at small shops. Senate, where are you working? Farhan's farm, so she's a farmer. At least for now. They can change their life states, they can get new jobs, they can get educated, they can move up, they can move houses. They are not stuck in those places. But they're both, both of them are fuming for a firehouse. And you know what? All right. I know I said I was going to be holding off on stuff, services and whatnot. But a firehouse, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Firehouse is popular with all kinds here. We'll put it, say, right up here. It's not going to cover everything, but at the very least it gives us a fire engine so that if a fire does break out, we will actually have a means to put it out. And that is increasing our mayor rating, just basically our overall popularity. It also increases desirability. As you can see that the move-ins are kind of keeping themselves to the radius of the firehouse. That's not to say that they won't move in elsewhere. Also, as more and more buildings get houses and shops and factories and farms. Work commute a no-go. What do we got here? I mean, he can get to where he needs to go. We do know for a fact that that we have sufficient items. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We got a mayor's house, which I do want to plop down. Generally helps out residential. So sorry guys, but mayor's going to be near the beach. That just radiates that. An army base, A. So yeah, when your budget is bleeding, you get offered some of these different things. And you know what? We'll take an army base. Some of these are pretty bad. The one that I really want is the federal prison. Yeah, and this one's pretty big. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to build the army base. You don't have to build it. You don't get paid for it until you do build it, but let's carry on. Now, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, sort of tongue-in-cheek here, actually, you know what we probably need? We probably need a police station in order to get the federal prison offered to us. Put that right next to the firehouse. The reason why I like the federal prison as one of your sort of emergency bailouts is, one, it pays you, but two, it acts as a prison, meaning that the game actually keeps track of prisoners as your police make arrests. And there's only a very limited amount of cells in the police stations themselves, and once those get full, you have to build and fund a prison yourself. Unless you have yourself a federal prison, which will just take any of the local prisoners that you happen to have anyway, and house them for you for free and pay you on top of all of that. So not too shabby right there. Also, I just see we have a stray tile up here, so we're gonna just put, no, not a medium plaza. Commercial zones like plazas, so we're going to do a small plaza right here, just to goose up commercial demand and desirability over here. And as we can see, our balance is going nice and high. So I think we will, let's go with some health first. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually going to go straight for the large medical center. One, because the radius is a little bit better, but two, I actually kind of want to spend a bit more to try and trigger some of our other stuff. Now, one of the things that I like about SimCity 4's budgets over, say, City Skylines is that you can manipulate the budget to each individual building, and lowering it here does not mean that you're giving awful quality. You're just only getting what you pay for. So for example, we don't need the local ambulance funding adjusts the ring. We don't need the ring to be all the way out to max. So we can just pull that back a little bit, only service the areas that we want, and then the local funding is just how many patients that we have, so we only need to fund that based on the local patients. So obviously we're going to want to tweak that and increase that, but rather than having to like build whole new wings onto it and whatnot, or in Skylines 2, if you reduce the budget, it punishes you by making the care worse rather than just not fulfilling capacity that you don't have. All right, Santa and Cameron are, you can see what I mean. I'll just move to a new white cottage. And Cameron, are you still white modular house? Yep, you're still a Northsider. We don't have any schools, and yet we are getting proposed a new school here. That's the higher capacity elementary school, which we might end up building. All right, we are still profitable here, and we're starting to get some of our higher wealth individuals going here. So the way the system works here in SimCity 4 is that everything is structured into $1, $2 or $3 wealth. Most of this is $1, but here we have a high wealth. And I can tell you why we suddenly got these high wealth individuals is that we built this hospital. This employs a fair number of high wealth individuals, aka the doctors. So by building these things, it actually employs some people, and we actually get some wealthier people in our town. Now, our baseline businesses are only really employing lower wealth individuals, dirty industries and whatnot. But as education goes up and complexity goes up, then higher wealth individuals will be created by naturally rather than just our individuals here. And so we'll start to see a higher proportion of middle income and higher income individuals. By the way, the greatest tax dollar per individual is gotten from low density, high wealth residentials. These 15 people are paying the highest taxes of anybody in the game, anybody in the city, and that's without us going in and messing with our tax income here. Which taxes default to 9. You can play around with them. I'm going to keep them at 9s for now. If we need a goose of income, we can do that. Also, yeah, when it's a new year, you get fireworks and they get launched from the mayor's house. All right, we're over the 3,000 mark. I want to see, how are we with agricultural jobs here? I think we just need to get our mayor rating higher, because when I'm still eyeing up that the farmers market, and we need a mayor rating of 34. So I think we do need to actually throw down some elementary schools. I think I will go with the large elementary school here, just for the radius. That should be good. And just like with the others, we can tweak its school bus radius and also the capacity. Here we can actually tone down our person capacity. As long as it's ahead of number of patients, then we're good. The only ones you don't really want to mess with is the funding for the police and fire. And that should send the mayor rating higher. We'll get into high schools and whatnot soon enough. I just want to make sure that we keep our agricultural zones enough to get that farmers market, because that is a yes, federal prison. Accept. This is the one we want. We want the federal prison because this thing is fantastic. Yeah, that's. We can get temples here. Those are good for residentials, but let's build that federal prison. So now all of our convicts will be sent here. Oop, that's not it. That's it. 2,400 cells, and they pay us for the privilege of having that in here. Now, obviously, there are some people that prefer not to have a federal prison, but honestly, this is fine. And that put us back over into the profits, which is fantastic. You can get some real doozy deals offered if you keep going into the negatives, but I have obtained what I wanted to obtain. All right, what do we want here? We want more agricultural. We could queue more agricultural, certainly. What is our mayor rating actually? It should be, we should be getting that reward pretty soon. I will take this house of worship. It is generally liked by the residential, so in it goes, and it's free. That should put us on track to get the Grave Need in Silver Wing. Yeah, more. These things are fine. I'm gonna actually put them up here because eventually we're gonna want to take over the farmland. So we're gonna put the graveyard up here. It takes up a lot of space, but it's otherwise good. But we're not done with our farms, not by a long shot. So we're gonna draw you down here. And actually, we're gonna improve that road right there. And then we'll let the game do the little crossroad drawing from whenever it thinks it needs it. And actually, there's another little patch right here. We're out of money. Ha! Oops. Well, if you're going to go broke building something, it's good to go broke building something that will eventually make you more money. Going broke and building, you know, an expensive something, we'll get them some water eventually. Farms need water, right? How are we? Yeah, we are way overfunding this school. Now, as more Sims move in, the amounts will be needed will be higher. Now, we zoned all this for lower density, but there are actually 3 levels of density within low density. As you can see, some of these are you know, these white bungalows are of a higher density than, say, this cute house. So even within the different density levels, you have different effects. I'm wondering if this little weird offshoot is, hang on. Let me just fix that real quick, just in case that's preventing this from developing. Because I don't know any other reason why this little block would... Now, the other thing that you're going to want to do here is start replacing some of the lower density with medium density. So like right here is a pretty nice spot, easy to get to the different roads. So I'm going to zone that for medium. So when the town grows large enough to actually start supporting medium density zones, that's where they're going to start cropping up. And so once we start seeing that, then we know, okay, medium density is on the table. We can actually start zoning for it. There's our farmers market. Absolutely. And yeah, we don't need the high capacity high school just yet. Actually, we need to save some money for our farmers market to plop it down. We are making a decent profit. I will give them that. I still am not going to build that military base. I only wanted the federal prison because I'm too cheap to build my own prison. What I will do, however, is let's expand out our dirty industry. Well, industry in general. There is some demand for medium. So the different zones, you have low, medium, high wealth residentials, low, medium, and high wealth commercial services, medium and high wealth commercial offices, and then agricultural development, dirty industry, manufacturing industry, and high-tech industry. The latter is the most desirable because it doesn't actually pollute, but you require lots of education in your city to even attract it. And yeah, we might as well, we're going to need more money, but we need some industry to generate that. Ooh, look at this, look at this. We have our medium density stuff starting to go up. And just like with low density, there are different degrees of medium density. But you need a lot more stuff in order to get the higher density stuff. Unlike with City Skylines, the system, the SimCity 4 takes into account your entire region for how many people are around before it starts triggering the building of higher density zones. So you can't just lay down a pocket of high density commercial and have giant office towers spring up in a town of 7,000 people. It's a lot more realistic in terms of its scale. And I mean, it's some of the best rewards in this game, in my opinion, is just building up a city and getting and seeing those higher tier buildings starting to appear. even though it makes things a lot harder once they start showing up, because higher density means more people in an area, which means more traffic, more demand on your services, more drains on everything. But you do get more money per physical tile from higher density. So that is a way to increase your tax base once you've used up the available land in an area. Oh yeah, one little thing to note here. These little icons here, this is the You Drive It feature. I'll show you that in a little time. You can do fun little missions and get rewards. I find it a little unbalanced actually, because some of the missions you can do and some of the rewards you can get are like, oh, thank you for doing this. Here's this late game reward building for free because you did this one little easy mission. As such, I'm not going to be using the You Drive It to earn money or do early unlocks of any particular reward buildings. Yeah, high water. Yeah, no, we don't need the high water thing. We've got plenty of water. Actually, let's consult. Let's see. Power is doing fine. Water's doing fine. In fact, I could probably turn down. Our funding for some of these. Whoops. Maybe not that much though. And also, if you run your plant too close to max capacity, it has a chance of blowing up. So you don't want to cut it too close there. Yeah, we had some brownouts go ripping through, but we should be back to form. Sims need power, yeah. Home destroyed. Totally. Well, yeah, of course. It's for that one little thing here. Yeah, and yes, I know we have gaps in police coverage, but if we plug all those gaps, we'll have gaps in our funding. Oh yeah, speaking of funding, now that we have a little bit more of an excess, we can start queuing up some ordinances. Now, the math on some of these is a little iffy, but I have a few that I personally like. Legalized gambling is a trap. It will generate more crime, and you'll basically need to spend more than this ordinance earns you to clean up the crime. So I'm not going to legalize gambling. We're going to go smoke detector program is good. It's cheap and effective. Neighborhood watch is cheap and effective. I'm going to go tourism promotion. That's a flat 50 plus a little extra for landmarks, but it helps commercial demand, which we kind of want to spur on right now. Junior sports is a good one, although that's got a high initial thing, so maybe not that. Tire recycling is a good one. Reduces garbage. Pro reading is a good one too. That helps education. So a little bit extra in expenses, but global effects for it. And that's not all the good ordinances that we're going to be turning on, but there's a few others that we got to wait for. We should be pretty close to getting our farmers market 4,900. One more month's worth of income and we'll have it. This not only increases demand for residential and commercial, but it also has a low-level health improvement for all of your citizens, because I guess it says better eating habits, fresh food, and all that. Let's speed up the time here. All right, where are we putting this beast? I want it pretty well centrally located. Right here should be good. It does cost me $30 a month, but we don't have to worry about any other sliders, and the benefits way outweigh the expense. So I'm okay with that. All right, let's develop this area up here. Let's see about putting another ferry. Oh, a statue, eh? We'll do a statue. Not right now, though. We have more important things. We'll do the ferry. Can we? I wish I could put it right here. This would be the ideal. Boop, boop, boop. Right next to the beach. I suppose that could work. And I think what I'll do, yeah, I'll put that here. And this is going to seem a little weird, but I'm going to do just a non-directional road. And just plug you into here. And you know what? We're going to do a medium density commercial zone here, just because a lot of people are going to be passing by this specific tile. So once we have enough commercial zones to have something medium density show up, then that will spawn right there, and that will tell me that there's more to go. And now we have this little inlet right here, which definitely needs a little bit more. Let's do a quiet road out to here. And you know what? We'll do some medium density over here. There we go. 2 medium densities right there. Again, they're not necessarily going to prop up right away. We need to get enough. You have to have enough entries at the lower density levels before your higher densities start showing up, even if you zone for it. Yeah, see, these are pretty decent. Also, I just realized my sound effects are... The game has some fantastic sound effects. Also has some fantastic music, but that's a little bit better. I miss it if I don't hear the sounds when I'm clicking on stuff. It don't feel right. Oh yeah, you can mouse over these to see how their funding versus their effectiveness level are, so you can make spot adjustments as needed. All right, how are we doing? We're about $1,000 over our expenses. That's a good place to be. That's a really good place to be. Demand is, industry wants some more, so do, of course, residents always want more. We'll see if we get any takers from up here. But I think our next best thing will be to just get more industry cooking here. As you can see, there's a lot of truck traffic on here. In fact, one of the other tools that we have here is we can see the different paths that things take. So the freight that's produced by this building goes straight out here. Let me see if I can find one that shows morning commute. No, that only... I think you need to click on a resident to see. So here we can see this particular house. Where does this house work and how do they get to work? Well, they come out of their house. It's a green line, so it's a car. They drive, and then they enter the ferry here. They find it faster than driving straight up. So they go over here, get out of their car, and boom, they're working right here. Now we can see how everyone's getting to this particular place. Different people are taking ferries. The pink lines are people walking to the ferries. So this is a great way to see how traffic flows. Also, I just realized this might be helpful. there's any leftover spaces here, we can utilize them. But that way, there's a few extra ways for these to few extra ways for the bridge traffic, because we do want some people using the bridge. Not too many, though. All right, that used up a fair chunk of my change here. Now, the next problem coming up here is this landfill. It is quickly filling up. And the ultimate solution to it is very expensive, but we're going to need to build it. The temporary sub-solution, however, is within striking range, and that's recycling. Let's... $5,000. We can handle that. Serves 25,000 people, which we have under, so it'll be fully effective. But yeah, it just all the recycling does is just cut our garbage by 20%, which means less stuff shows up here, which means we get more. This particular landfill lasts longer. Now, this is what I was saying about, initial cities being harder, is that if we were starting another new city connected to this, we could just sell our garbage to this city. And therefore, we wouldn't have to deal with all of the landfill and the garbage zones. But here, since we have nobody to sell garbage to, there's nothing. Aha! We've got high density. Or, well, medium density. Also, the need for lower density to appear before you get high density is based on wealth level. So you need a whole ton of low density, low wealth residentials before you qualify for medium. We obviously qualify for medium now, which is why we're getting that. However, we have very few low density, high wealth. So before we actually start seeing high density, high wealth, we need a lot more high wealth people. So getting towers is one thing. Getting high wealth towers is a completely different beast. That's why we're, even though this is prime real estate, we're only getting low wealth residential. All right, these are developing, although these don't look like they are. These don't look like they're medium density yet. You can have lower densities develop in medium density spots. Knickknacks and gewgaws. All right, still making more cash. I credit the extra industry that we zoned over here as helping us out. We could also do more. Yeah, we got all of our farms down here. We could do more farms. I don't want to build farms on this side because that's going to pollute this water, but I'm okay with this water getting polluted. So, you know what? Well, no, we got to save up for our recycling first, and then we can deal with that. Do you need... Yeah, we don't necessarily need a link here because even this place's freight trips are short. Not sure why these two aren't developing, but I'm sure they'll get around to it at some point. All right, we have our cash. Let us get our recycling center. I'll put it over here anyway. Yeah, you know what? I can do this. Or better yet, give ourselves some room to expand in case we need that. Now, the recycling center by itself is good, but what the other really good thing that it enables is a new ordinance, which is the... Where are you? Where are are you? Oh, I do like the Automobile Emission Reduction Act. I will give it that. Maybe it needs to be around for like a month before it shows up. It's called the trash pre-sort. Yeah, it just might need a month or two to kick itself in and get recognized by the city. Yeah, it hasn't been recognized yet. It will. It'll get there. And that will also slow the flow of trash going into this landfill to extend the life before we need to either build another landfill, which I want to try to avoid. There it goes. Okay. So now I think we can pop on trash pre-sort requirement. Very cheap, and it just reduces global garbage because more stuff. Aha! Dispatch those trucks. Now, here's one other thing that I'm going to keep comparing this to City Skylines 2, specifically 2. In City Skylines 2, the fire truck just sort of shows up and just stares at the fire, and then the fire goes out. Here, you have a fire truck that not only makes its way over from the fire station, but we actually get an animation. You actually have firefighters getting out and spraying the fire. It's, you know, it's functionally the same thing. We put the fire out, hooray us, but it just gives your city so much more life. So, you know, sometimes it's just those little animations that make all the difference. Also, yes, I know we're going to need a fire station in our industrial area. That is true, but we need to be cognizant of our budget. Right then. All right, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So in our next episode, we will continue our expansion, maybe increasing our farms, and see if we can increase the density of our residential area here and get more of our commercial zones on board with getting their things going. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya!